Okay, so if you would now please turn to page 264. This will be lesson 2, percents. And here the key ideas is that the percent symbol means out of 100. This is what you should learn out of this particular lesson. These are the learning objectives. The three elements of percent problem are the base, the part, and the rate. And percent problems can be solved by writing a proportion that has a denominator. Percent means, look at the top of your page, 264, the first paragraph. Percent means per 100 or out of 100. And I'm not using my little mouse. Normally I need it, so let's see. Okay, so let's look at this paragraph. Percent means per 100 or out of 100. For example, if you have $100 and you spend $25, you spent 25 out of 100, or 25% of your money. Okay, so please follow along. Since percent is a way of showing part of a whole, it has much in common with fractions and decimals. To convert a percent to a fraction, write the percent over 100 and reduce. To convert percents to decimals, drop the percent symbol and move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So let's illustrate that. Let me get my whiteboard. Okay, I don't want to get a thick pen here. So you see exactly what they did in the book. So we're just going to illustrate here and you see how they got there. 25 over what? 100, right? Equals. They show 1/4, but here's what they did. 25 going to 25 one time. Some people may need to see this. And 25 going to 100 how many times? 4 times. That's how they got the answer. Okay, and if you look at the percent, 25%, we're going to change it to a decimal. All right, so we're going to change that to a decimal. So we know it's equal to point, they did in the book, 25. So 25% is equal to 0.25. How do we get this to a decimal? Well, all we did was we take 25%, right? And you drop the percent sign. And then you take the decimal 2 places, as your book tells you, to the left. 1, 2. See? Your decimal point end up there. And it looks like this. 0.25. Okay? Let's look at the next paragraph. In any percent problem, there are 3 elements: the base, the part, and the rate. The base is the whole quantity or amount that the problem is about. The part, also called a percentage, is a portion of the base. The rate is a number followed by the percent symbol. Let's look at example 1. At a restaurant, Janice's bill is $20. She gives the waiter a tip of $3. That's 15% of her bill. Identify the base, the part, and the rate in this situation. So the next paragraph tells you, all they want you to do is see if you can identify the different parts. But they also tell you that you can set it up and look at percent problems as a proportion. The fraction on one side is equal to the fraction on the other side of the equal sign. So look at the statement they have. This is one way to think of a percent problem is as a proportion. So in example 1, there are two ratios. The $3 tip is part of the $20 bill ratio. And 15 is the same as 15 over 100. Since the two ratios are equal, they can be written as a proportion. Well, how do we know they're equal? Well, just look at what they did there in the next step. They cross multiplied 3 times 100, and then you cross multiply 20 times 15. Both give you the same answer. You can solve percent problems by setting up a proportion and solving for the missing elements. Just remember to express the percent as a number over 100. So what we were talking about, the cross multiplies, they see they had 3 over 20 is equal, this is the proportion that we're setting up, to 15 over 100. They are equal to each other, both fractions. So here goes. Let me get the little red so you can see it. 3 times 100 is 300. We know that. And 20 times 15. I'm sorry. 3 times 100 is 300. And 20 times 15 is 300. Okay, so this question here, it asks you about look at example number 2. And example number 2, they want you to get 2% of 900. Now, there's an easy way to do this, but I'll show you both. One way they call mental math, and then there's well, actually like 3 ways. There's a percent formula also. So let's get a whiteboard and then let's show you how to do it, okay? Let's just erase that. So let me get a black pen as well. And I apologize, I'm kind of in an area where there's a little bit more noise than usual. So to get 2% of 900, because it says at the plant, the manufacturer's lighting fixtures, it is expected that about 2% of the fixtures assembled each day will have some type of defect. If 900 fixtures are completed in one day, how many are expected to be defective? So what you can do, a shortcut, is to go, okay, 900, let me put this on the white, 900. And then let me show you an easy way to get a percentage. So anytime somebody asks you 1%, just drop 2 numbers off the end. And that would leave me 9. You see? So in this case, they want to know 2%. So I dropped 2 numbers off the end twice. So one time would give me 9. And if I did it again,
yes, sir,
I have 18. You see? So 2% of 900 is 18. Hey, if they had asked me 3% of 900, I would have did 3 times. You see, they only asked 2, but if they had done it 3, you see, look. That leaves me 9. So 9 for 1%. 2 for 2%. And had they asked me 3, I'd do it a 3rd time. That's 3%. But in this case, they only asked for 2%, so we can see. Now, that's one way to do it. We know the answer is 18. Here's another way to do it. Okay, so we could do it this way as well. Let's go. You could multiply it. 900 times 2%. And so here, what you will do is multiply. First of all, we're going to drop the percent sign. Okay? Let's drop the percent sign. And we're going to make the 2 a decimal. So when we drop the percent sign, we have to take the decimal place 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So that'll be your decimal. You got to add a 0 there, alright? Because we took it 2 places to the left. So that's 0. That's 0.02 now, okay? And then we're going to multiply that. 2 times 0, 0, 2 times 0, 0. And of course, 2 times 9, 18. Now, with that decimal being right here, you're going to ask yourself how many numbers behind the decimal. It's 2. So then you're going to take and put the decimal 2 places to the left. 1, 2. See, the decimal goes there. So your answer again is 18. Now, one other way I'll show you is using the percent formula. So here's the percent formula, and you can use this for almost any type of percent. Is over of equal percent over 100. And so with this percent formula, what you're going to do is basically plug in the values from the question, and then you're going to cross multiply and divide. Okay, let's do it. So here it asks, what is 2% of 900? So the question is asking, what is 2%? Trying to run a little faster. I told you I'm not in my normal area, so we got a little bit of noise going on. So what is 2%? I'm sorry, 2% of, but you'll see this, 900, right? Okay, so to get this, let's just take from the question and plug it into the formula. So the percent is 2, so we're going to put 2 in the formula. Now with this formula, 100 is always the same, so we just bring the 100 down, okay? And then what do we know? Of what? Of 900, right? The of is 900. So all you're doing is using a formula and you're plugging the values in from the question, okay? And so what we don't know, the unknown, is the is. What is 2% of 900? I use n as the unknown variable. You can use x, p, t, whatever. I use n. So now that we've plugged in the values into the formula, we're just going to cross multiply and divide, okay? I always tell students, always multiply the one without the variable first. So we're going to multiply 900 times 2 first, okay? And that's going to be 1800. And you're going to put the division symbol here. And then, once we got that one multiplied, we're going to multiply this. 100 times n is going to be 100n, okay? So write it out like this. And then n equals. Okay, so now what you're going to do is take and divide 1800 divided by 100 equals 18. Your answer is 18. So I've shown you 3 ways in which you could do percentages. And if you look in your book on page 264, they're showing you the same thing in terms of cross multiplying to get the answer. But I've shown you 3 ways to do it. End of this lesson.